And now it's time to move to Limelight with Masuma. The beautiful hostess here is Miss Masuma Papia. Masuma ji is an internationally renowned makeup artist. We are proud that she is affiliated with Women's Worldview, and she makes each of her guests feel so very special and wanted. One such guest of hers today is someone whom I respect and highly admire. She's a life coach, and her name is Mrs. Sohaira Sultan. Let's discover her closely through the eyes of Limelight with Masuma.
Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to Limelight with Masuma. I'm your hostess, Masuma Papia. Limelight with Masuma is a TV show focused on promoting and highlighting business owners, professionals, upcoming trends, and key social issues. Above all, it's a show about people from different walks of life sharing their experience, their passion, their views, and expertise with us. Sometimes in life, we get so lost and overwhelmed that we need people who can help us move forward and kind of help us with setting our personal goals and professional goals that kind of gives us the way we really want our life to go to. And that someone is a life coach. So today, my guest is someone who does exactly that. So let's welcome her to the show, Sohaira Sultan. Sohaira, thank you so much for coming. I'm glad you could make the time to come to my show.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited as well.
Thank you, Sohaira. So before we get into the depth of life coaching, because there's so much I want to know, tell us what exactly is life coaching for people out there who are probably not, I guess, familiar with the concept.
Right. So life coaching, one of its core values is not a core value. I don't know why I said value, but it would be more of a truth about individuals. Is that each individual is naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. And it's really, you know, our life experiences and things that we go through that limit us from believing in that capability within ourselves.
So in a way, sometimes we kind of get straight away where we lose our, like we just don't know which direction to go, right? We kind of just get lost.
Yeah.
And, so that's where you come in.
That's where I come in.
To kind of just put things in the right perspectives and kind of.
Well, the special thing about life coaching is that it's not just me putting it into perspective, it's really me listening for your own wisdom and reflecting it back to you.
Oh, okay. So things that we already know, you're making us realize that we need to know that.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's pretty depth. So so I hear, you know, this a lot. Why would I go to a life coach rather a therapist? So what's the difference between the two?
So both things fall under the under therapy itself. Right? So but they're following different types of modules. And a therapist would work mostly on what you've already gone through, your past, and helping you process that. And giving you the space to do that.
Gotcha.
With a life coach, you will have time to process certain things that come up, but the main emphasis is on moving forward. And so your coach is going to be pushing you, and they're your accountability partner.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because I've heard that a lot too. It's an accountability coach where you kind of hold me. If I were to come to you as a client, you hold me accountable, and I do kind of have to follow. I mean, is it kind of like that? Because
it's following, and then we team up together. Like so, the type.
So you check with me.
I check with you.
Okay.
You know, I push you, and I ask you, can you do this? And you have the right to say yes or no, but I will push you as much as I can, and as much as you're ready to keep going.
That's nice. Trust me. Sometimes we do need that. It's especially someone like me who's extremely lazy. So I know you talked about the therapist. I just want to touch base a little bit. So with the therapist, like you said, it's that initial the past life. You know, you kind of just go over what you've done and what you could have done differently. And as a life coach, you reflect on that and help them move forward.
And also with a therapist, it's not just about recognizing what's happened, but well, it is about recognizing what's happened, right? So it's like really processing it, because when we're going through it, you're just in that, you know, run mode.
Sure.
So therapists will help. If you work with, I've seen clients with me firsthand. It's, I mean, it's amazing. And especially if you use a therapist and a life coach together, it orchestrates beautifully.
Is that right? Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know much about that, but that's amazing. So, okay, I know it's kind of like a silly question probably. Who hires a life coach?
Who hires
Trust
a life
me,
coach?
I probably
The real
need
question
her.
is, who doesn't hire a life coach?
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't think about that. Who doesn't hire a life coach?
You know?
Okay.
No. So a lot of, now we've seen a lot of companies hiring life coaches.
Yeah.
And that's basically to help support their teams, their work team, you know, to become stronger
and to kind of just lift them up
and lift them up and help them each individually find their strength within the team, so that they perform at their you know, highest performance level.
Sure.
And then also, but it's really an array of clients, from students to you know, upcoming leaders, to people who are in transition.
Wow. So would you, like, let's say, go to an university if they were holding a session, and you do stuff like that too?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And one of my dreams is even working with elementary level students. You know, I mean, I taught, so I don't know if you know this about me, but I have a multifacetet career.
Oh boy, no, I don't. Please tell our viewers, because I'm sure.
I started off as an architect, and then.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, I moved into becoming a pre-K teacher, and then working with my local mosque for marriage services. And so, having been in these different places, I saw the need for life coaching in every space.
So you've experienced the different aspects of life, pretty much. I mean, these are like totally different areas: architecture, school, that to preschool, and then mosque, which is a religious institution. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you probably gathered a lot of knowledge from them, as well as they have done from you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So as an entrepreneur, what led you to this path? I mean, I know you hold a degree in architectural. Is that okay? Yeah. So this is a totally different game.
So I didn't really think too hard about entrepreneurship. It just kind of
didn't wake up
happened. It was. In a lot of ways, I feel like it was a calling. Yeah. You know, and even in my coaching, you'll hear me talk about pieces of purpose. Each piece of our life is meant to lead us to something, and I kind of feel like that's why my path was the way it was, to lead me into this space where I naturally felt more comfortable and empowering. And I've always been attracted to beauty, and really the strongest beauty is within people.
Within people, that is so true.
So I think, it was just a natural.
So it was a realization within yourselves that kind of just told you that I should go out there and do this. This was
things
my
just
calling.
fell into place. I ended up going into training for life coaching, and just witnessing the transformation that happens within people. I couldn't.
Oh, wow! So do you have to get like certified, or you do? Okay, so it's you couldn't just start.
You can't just.
You have to hold a license of some sort. Oh wow! Oh my God! I would just love to hear more about your business, but I'm definitely going to call you, because trust me, we all need a life coach in our life, and she's going to be mine. It could be anybody, isn't it? It doesn't have to be. It could be your friend. It could be your husband. But I think sometimes we need to step outside our comfort zone and just look at somebody who sees you from a perspective that you typically don't see, right? Because I think my loved ones will always say good things about me, because I want them to. But I think a life coach would see it differently and say it differently. So it's very essential to have someone like that in your life. So Sohaira, do you consider yourself a role model? Because I definitely do. I think you're a role model for a lot of people.
So when
It should be a tough question.
It shouldn't be a tough question.
No, you are.
I would like to say I'm not, but I think that as a mom, I have a responsibility to say that I am. And even when you start thinking about your life overall,
sure,
we all have a responsibility to do something. So I think it's more about being responsible to our communities at large and the world around us, but I wouldn't really, I strive to be a role model.
Aww, that's,
I don't think I'm
really, and you're
I haven't made it there yet.
And you're doing a great job at it. So no, I would think you are. So tell us a little bit about, because I know you support some charities out there. When I read up on you, I was amazed by some of the stuff that you do. Tell us about some of this charity that you support personally. I know we talked about the mosque. I would love to hear more about it.
Yeah. So I have a strong attachment to children, a very strong motherly side, and
that's so sweet.
I think anything that involves children and child advocacy is where my heart really lies. And so when it comes to supporting charities, there are three that I can really name off the top of my head.
Okay.
One is A Hope for Children. It's a project group that supports children in Ethiopia in orphanages who have HIV, who are HIV positive. And so they help support them, their extended families, help them by getting them education and whatnot.
Oh
a very dear friend of mine, Julie Wadler, she's the one who founded it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the founder of A Hope for Children, and if you want, you can read up on it.
No, I will. I mean, that's amazing for someone to kind of just step outside their world and to do something so selfless for others. And the fact that you support it makes you an amazing person. So I applaud you. That not everybody can do that. Trust me. I've seen this because we get tied up in our personal life. So for someone like that who's got children, have a career, and you could still do that on the side, that's amazing.
I hope to do more. And another project is Project Mawson.
Okay.
It is primarily an organization that came about to support spirituality for different abled children. And I think a lot of spiritual places, whether they be churches, synagogues, mosques, there isn't that space for children, especially with autism and
I see. Okay. Mental illness
mental illness and whatnot. So, but spirituality is their right as well, and it's the right of their families.
Oh my goodness!
So it's this program provides a space for the children to be welcomed as well as for their families.
Oh wow! So it's kind of like a community then, kind of just prepare them and help, let them have the life like normal people like us we do. So it's their space there. That's amazing. I'm sorry, what was it called?
Project Mawson.
Mawson. Okay, Mawson. That's amazing.
And then the third one is GTV.
Yeah. You're good Lord, woman. You're
So we've got I've got my program here.
Yeah, you do. I actually forgot to mention she has her own show. Your show's called
Pieces of Purpose.
Yeah.
And all of GTV, all the proceeds go to help globally.
And that's an amazing thing GTV does. I think a lot of our viewers may not know this, but all the proceeds go to charity, which is a blessing for all of us. So I thank you. You're so amazing. I'm so glad I met you. Just a quick question, and I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
How do you define success? Because it's funny because I ask all my guests that, and they all come from different professions. So success for me is different. What would be for you? So what's success to you?
Success to me is being able to be steadfast in growing in my faith, and to having enough time for my family and loved ones, and having the capability to be and give more than just to myself.
Oh, that's pretty well said. That's really good. So you don't have to be an all-rounder. You could be a perfect person like her and still have still have a life. Oh my gosh, I wish I had more time to talk to you today, but you'll come back.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you liked this segment, and if you enjoyed this episode, would like to see more related topics, or want to be on the show as a guest, please email me at limelightwithmasuma@gmail.com or call at 703-646-0098. So until we meet again, stay happy, stay healthy, and enjoy life. Thank you.